This video I'm going to go over the revision work that I've done over the last few lessons for people that weren't in. So the first questions are very straightforward. So add 4,856 and 759, subtract 245 from 900. Those are some basic questions which we should have no trouble doing. Writing down the factors of 28, however, that might be a little bit more tricky. So to do this, I'm going to write down all the pairs of numbers that multiply to give 28, starting with 1 and 28, 1 times 28, then 2 times 14, 3 does not go into 28, 4 goes into 28 7 times, 5 doesn't go, 6 doesn't go, 7 doesn't go, and in fact, well, 7 does go, but it goes 4 times, which is a repeat. And as soon as you've repeated a pair, you know that you've listed all of the factors. So the factors are 1, 2, 4, 7, 14, and 28. To write this number to 2 decimal places, I notice that the second decimal place is 7, which is here. I draw a dotted line. The 9 tells the 7 to round up to 8, so I have 284.38. 7 squared is simply 7 multiplied by 7, which is 49. The square root of 64 is the number that I multiply by itself to get 64, which we should know is 8. You should know your square numbers up to 12. So 1 squared is 1, 2 squared is 4, 3 squared is 9, 4 squared is 16, 5 squared is 25, 6 squared is 36, 7 squared is 49, 8 squared is 64, and so on. To divide by 1,000, I move my decimal point back 3 times. So I have 45.26 divided by 1,000. Decimal point jumps back 3 times. So it is now here. And underneath this hoop, I'm going to put a 0. So I have 0.04526. These are the topics that you can expect in the test on Wednesday. Here are some questions on simplifying. So firstly, we are given the example 2x take away 13x plus 9x. To do this, I'm going to do 2x take away 13x. Now 13 take away 2 is 11, but because I'm doing 2 take away 13, we are going to have a negative number. So that must be minus 11x. I then need to add the 9x. Now minus 11 plus 9, if I imagine it's minus 11 degrees, temperature goes up by 9 degrees, that's going to be minus 2, so I have minus 2x. You have some questions here to do yourself, so pause the video now and have a go at them, and when you're ready for the answers, press play. Here are the answers. So I'll just go over the middle one to make sure that we're happy with these. 10x take away 20x is minus 10x, plus 9x is minus 1x or minus x. So you should be able to get these answers. And that means we can tick off these topics here. So now let's move on to solving and substitution in a grid. So here are some equations that we want to solve. In the example, I have 6x is equal to 24. Now this really means that 6 multiplied by x is 24. To get x on its own, I circle the multiply by 6, and to bring it down to the other side of the equation, I need to do the opposite of times, which is divide, so I need to do 24 divided by 6. Thinking about our times table, 6, 12, 18, 24, we see that 6 goes into 24 4 times, so x is 4. In the second question, 50 take away y is 32, we need to think about what number do I subtract from 50 to get 32. And that's going to be exactly 50 take away 32, which is 18. So y is 18. Here are some questions for you to try. Please pause the video now and have a go at them. And when you're ready for the answers, press play. Here are the answers. Firstly, x is 20 divided by 5, the inverse of multiplying by 5, which is 4. For B, x is going to be 18 take away 5, which is 13. For C, x is going to be 55 divided by 11, which is just 5. Here is a challenge question for us to try. Tim thinks of a number, he multiplies his number by 8 and gets an answer of 120. We want to know what number he thought of. So I'm going to write 8 times box, so that just represents the number that he thought of, and that's going to give me 120. To find what the number is, I need to do the opposite of multiplying by 8 and bring the 8 down to the other side of the equation, which will be a divide. So I have to do 120 divided by 8, which we can do using a bus stop. 120 divided by 8, 8 into 1 goes 0, remainder 1, 8 into 12 goes 1, remainder 4, 8 into 40 goes 5, giving me an answer of 15. We now want to do some solving and substitution in a grid. Firstly, to work out what the drink is worth, I need to notice that 3 of the drinks is 30. So that means that one of the drinks is 30 divided by 3, which is 10. I can then substitute 10 into the second equation. So I have 10 plus 2 burgers is 20. That means that the 2 burgers must be 10. Which means that one of the burgers must be half of 10, which is 5, which I can then substitute into my third equation to help me find the chips. So I can say 5 plus 2 lots of chips is 9. So 2 lots of chips must be 4. So 1 lot of chips must be half of 4, which is 2. Finally, I can work out the expression at the bottom by remembering bid maths. I need to multiply first. So I have 5 plus 2 times 10. Remember bid maths, we multiply first. 2 times 10 is 20. I still need to add the 5 on, so I get an answer of 25. Here are 2 similar number puzzles for you to work out. I'd like you to find the missing values in each case, and then evaluate the expressions at the bottom of the puzzles. Please pause the video now and have a go. And when you're ready for the answers, press play. Here are the answers. So for the first one, you should have 1927 for the missing number, and for the expression at the bottom. And for the second one, we should have 34 for the missing number or the expression at the bottom. Here are some two-step equations for us to solve. So to solve these equations, for A, I need to do 2x plus 4 equals 8. To get 2x on its own, I need to subtract 4 by taking it over the other side of the equal sign, so it becomes a take away. So I will have 2x is equal to 8 take away 4. So that means that 2x is equal to 4. And then to get x on its own, I need to divide by 2, giving me x is 4 divided by 2, which is 2. So my final answer for the first one is x is equal to 2. Similarly, in the second question, we have 8x plus 6 equals 30. So I can say 8x plus 6 equals 30. I need to float and ping and then escalator. So I float the plus 6 over the equal sign to become a minus 6, giving me 8x equals 30 take away 6, which is 24. I then need to take the 8, which is being multiplied by the x, down the escalator to become a divide. So x equals 24 divided by 8, which is 3. So my second answer is x is equal to 3. I'm going to skip C. Now D, we have 5x minus 3 equals 17. I need to float the minus 3 over the equal sign, so it will become a plus 3, giving me 5x equals 20. I then need to divide by 5, giving me x equals 20 divided by 5, which is 4. So I can say x equals 4. Not the third one, sorry, for D. So have a go at the other questions on the screen, and when you're ready for the answers, press play. Here are the answers. We're now going to look at some sequences and patterns very briefly. To find the missing number in this sequence, Well, I should notice that I'm simply subtracting 9 every time. So the missing number is going to be 91 take away 9, which is 82. To find the nth term, which really isn't going to come up in your test, but it's still something useful to know, we use the box and ring method. So to go from 100 to 91, we are subtracting 9, that goes in the box. To go back from 100, we would have to add 9, giving me 109. That goes in the ring, plus 109. The nth term is box n ring, which is minus 9n plus 109. To solve these equations, these are slightly trickier than before. The first one, I need to multiply by 4 because 4 is being divided by. So I bring the 4 up the escalator to become a multiply. So I have x equals 12 times 4, which is 48. In the second question, I want to get all of the x's onto the side that has more x's on currently, which is the left-hand side. It has 2 x's rather than 1. So I circle the 1x on the right, and I take it over to the left-hand side. Now, currently, it's a plus x, so if I take it over, it becomes a minus x. So my left-hand side is going to look like 2x plus 10, take away x, and that is going to be equal to 12. The left-hand side, I have 2x take away x, which is x, plus 10, and that equals 12. To get x on its own, I take the plus 10 over to become a minus 10, so I have x equals 12 take away 10, which is 2. In my last example, it's the same sort of thing. There are more y's on the left, so I'm going to take the plus y on the right over to the left to become a minus. So 3y take away 1y is 2y. We have 2y take away 4 equals 10. We take the minus 4 over to become a plus 4, so 2y equals 14. We take the 2 down the escalator to become a divide, so y is 14 divided by 2, which is 7. Finally, we're going to look at expanding brackets. To do this, we multiply everything in the brackets by the number which is on the outside. In the first question, we have to do 3 times x, which is 3x, and then 3 times 4, which is 12, and there's a plus in between. In B, we have 4 times x, which is 4x, 4 times 2, which is 8, and there's a minus in between. Use this idea to have a go at C, D, E, and F. Please pause the video now, and when you're ready for the answers, press play. Here are the answers. I have 5x plus 5 times 12 is 60, 2 times 3x is 6x, plus 2 times 4 is 8, 5 times x is 5x, plus 5 times y is 5y, 6 times x is 6x, and then 6 times y is y, but there's a minus, so I have 6y. So to summarize, this is what we've gone through. So we've gone through all of these topics. Substitution, not really substitution, we have done collecting, like term, expanding brackets. So we've done most of the questions, or most of the ideas for the questions. The next thing I'd like to go through is forming and solving an equation involving angles. The topic to look at is forming and solving equations. Here we're given a straight line. Now we want to find angle x. We want to find what x is. Now, to do this, I'm firstly going to remember that the angles on a straight line will add up to 180 degrees. So I'm going to write down x plus 2x plus this angle, which is 90, and that will equal 180 degrees. X plus 2x is 3x, so I have 3x plus 90 equals 180. We can now solve this like the previous equations by taking the 90 over the equal sign to become a minus. So I have 3x equals 180 take away 90. So 180 take away 90. So that means 3x is equal to 180 take away 90, which is 90. To get x on its own, I need to bring the 3 down to become a divide because I'm multiplying by 3 and 3x. giving me x equals 90 divided by 3, which is 30 degrees. I can now so that is what x is, but I can also substitute this back in. X equals 30 degrees, so that means 2x is 2 times 30, which is 60 degrees, and the final angle is 90. Here are some questions for you to have a go at. I'd like you to form an equation for both of these scenarios to find x, and then substitute x back in to find the individual angles. Please pause the video now, and when you're ready for the answers, press play. Here are the answers. In my first example, I have angles on a straight line, which I know will add up to 180. So I have 2x plus 3x plus x equals 180. 2 plus 3 is 5, plus 1 is 6, so 6x equals 180. To get x on its own, I bring the 6 down. I'm timesing by 6 on the left. To bring it down to the right, I divide. So x equals 180 divided by 6, which is 30 degrees. So that means that 2x equals 30 degrees, and 3x is going to be 90 degrees. And I can check. These will add up to 180. 2x 30, 3x 90, x 30, and indeed, oh, that's a mistake, sorry, 2x should be 60 degrees, and then we can see, obviously, they add up to 180, 60 plus 90 plus 30, sorry about that. In the second question, we have 90 plus 2x plus x plus 30 equals 180. I collect like terms. 2x plus x is 3x. 90 plus 30 is 120. That equals 180. I subtract 120. I take it over the other side, become a minus. So 3x equals 180 take away 120, which is 60. I bring the 3 down the escalator to become a divide. X equals 60 divided by 3, which is 20 degrees. So that means 2x is double 20, which is 40 degrees. And x plus 30 is going to be 20 plus 30, which is 50 degrees. That concludes everything. If you can do what we've done in this video, have another look through to make sure you can do it all. You should be fine for the test.